going on, everybody? This is going to be a little different video than what we usually post, but I wanted to still do something over this off season when the lakes are frozen up here in Iowa and we can't get out and actually fish, to still bring some content to you guys. So this is going to be a first look at the new Bassmaster Fishing 2022 video game. And a little bit later on in the video, we're going to give some tips on how to find fish and how to catch fish in the game. So join me as we look around. We're just gonna take a look at some of the things that are in the game. So first off, we'll look at the venues. The first lake we got is Lake Gunnersville. I've been there in real life. Great lake, awesome to see it in the game. Then we got the St. Johns River in Florida. I've never been here. I've watched a bunch of Elite Series tournaments here, and seems like a fun lake. Then we got the Sabine River in Texas. Fairly hard fishery. Never been here, but should be a good time. Next lake, we got the St. Lawrence River. This is a place that I'm really wanting to go to after seeing all the pro tournaments there over the last couple of years. It's an awesome smallmouth fishery, and I can't wait to play it in this game. Then we got Lake Hamilton in Hot Springs, Arkansas. I was actually just at a BFL regional in Arkansas on Lake Ouachita, and Lake Ouachita actually drains into Lake Hamilton, so I was fairly close, but haven't fished here. But if it fishes anything like Lake Ouachita, it's gonna be a tough lake. Then we got Lake Chickamauga. There's a lot of big fish that come out of here. You know, I took a guide trip on Chickamauga earlier this year, and you know, it's a Tennessee River fishery, so it's got some big bass and should be a fun time. And then we have Toledo Bend in Texas, Texas-Louisiana border. I've been here a couple times in real life and didn't enjoy it very much. I caught some small fish the first time, and then the second time had a lower unit go out and actually wasn't able to fish the tournament. So, but hey, now we can fish it here in the game whenever we want. So maybe we can get some revenge on it. And lastly, then we have Lake Ray Roberts. The Bassmaster Classic was actually here this year. I don't know much about this lake. I watched a little bit of the Classic, but not much. But still should be a fun lake to play. Alright, and then, so for the career mode, as you can see, I've already played some of this, but we have the Bassmaster College Series. This is super cool that the career mode, you start off in college, you fish a couple college tournaments. You got one on Toledo Bend, Chickamauga, and St. Lawrence River. And then you do a little pro challenge in between there. But you work your way up through the college series and eventually make it to the Bassmaster Opens. I'm in the Bassmaster Opens right now. Just finished first place on Toledo Bend. And we're going to be doing a challenge here in the next couple days on Lake Gunnersville, but then you know, you fish a Bassmaster Open on Gunnersville and you fish a challenge in between each tournament, and so then as you go on from there, you qualify for the Bassmaster Elite Series, which I don't have unlocked yet, but we'll eventually get there. And so you fish your way through the Elite Series, and just like in real life, you try and qualify for the Bassmaster Classic, the World Series of Fishing. It's a great layout for trying to qualify. It mimics real life. You know, you're fishing college, then you go to the Opens, and you try and qualify for the Elite Series, and obviously everybody's end goal is to make the Bassmaster Classic. So. Another cool thing they've got in the game this year is Bassmaster Online. So you can actually join Bassmaster Royale, and you can fish tournaments. I can't remember how many people can be in each tournament, but you fish you can actually fish against people, and there's other real people on the lake in the game, and you fish a 40-minute session, and there's cutoffs every 10 minutes, I believe. So obviously you have to be towards the top, otherwise you're getting cut. And at the end, there's a winner. All the tournaments are on Lake Hamilton, so it's it's a really fun game mode. And then obviously there's Bassmaster Public. You can just join in and play with other people on Lake Hamilton. It's not a tournament thing. You can just go and play with your friends. So that's another cool feature. And then here you've obviously got your character customization. You can change the way you look, your hair, your sunglasses, hats, hoodies, pants, all of that. Then you have your tournament gear, your jerseys, and all that. And then here's your loadouts. Depending on what boat you have, you can have anywhere from 15 to 25 rods in your boat at the same time. You can make a whole bunch of different setups. It's a pretty cool option to be able to have a bunch of different rods to choose between. And then here you have your boats. Right now I have the Basscat Puma. It goes 75 miles an hour. It's the fastest boat in the game, so obviously that's what we're taking. But you have a couple different brands here that you can choose between: Falcon, Blazer, Skeeter. And then you go and you look at your angler hub. You can look at your legendary catches, just all the legendary fish on each lake that are named fish. Look at the different species. And this is a cool feature here. You have your sponsors. You get 5 sponsors. You choose whichever sponsors you want, and you work your way up. And depending on how well you do, and you grow your fan base, and you get discounts for different levels in the sponsorship and stuff like that. Then you can just look at your player profile and go, and here you can go through a tutorial to show you a little bit about the game and how to play it. And then these are your mastery challenges. Each lake has different challenges. I believe you win like a jersey and a hat if you finish your challenges and stuff like that. So these are just a bunch of different challenges you can do. So with that being said, let's hop in a lake and show you guys how to catch, or how to find some fish and how to catch them too. So as you guys can see, I just pulled up to this first spot. I just graphed over a bunch of fish off this point. I've got a waypoint here already, which is a super cool feature that you can have in the game, so you can keep track of all your spots. But so really what I'm looking for here is what I've noticed playing the game is when you have lower water temperatures, somewhere in like the low 60s, 50s, 40s, the bass seem to be offshore a little bit. Right here we have a point. These fish are sitting suspended off this point in this cooler water. And usually what you're looking for is you don't want to see just like a couple fish on your fish finder. You want to see like groups of fish or a lot of fish. And then when you finally come to a stop and you decide to fish a spot, you want to the markers on the graph are kind of just like a general area of where the fish are. So you want to fan cast around until you actually see fish. And you'll see here in a second when you cast out, there's actually an underwater camera and you can see fish swimming. And so you want to fan cast around until you actually see some bass activity in the area. And right now it's not looking like there's much around other than catfish. But it really takes a lot of time to find good spots. You just gotta cast around a lot and just try and find those fish on the underwater camera. And then usually when you do find a couple, there's just like that right there. Didn't even reel it in, hit it on the fall. And another tip about this game is when you're reeling in fish, you can mess with your drag a lot, and so that way you don't have to change your reel speed or anything like that. And you obviously want to take the rod tip and follow which way the fish is going, and you can just move your drag system up and down. If they start running away with it, you can
Not gonna set any records
lessen your drag and let them run, and so they
good,
don't snap your line.
keeper.
And then, as you just saw right there, you can actually there's like a little mini game that you can play when the fish gets close, so that you can land your fish, and you just have to get it within that certain spot on the meter. And the bait I'm using is this jinkolistic some type of swim bait, the big 6-inch swim bait, and that seems to have been getting a lot more of the quality bites. You don't catch a whole lot of fish on it, but usually when you do, it's most of the time 5+ pounds. And just a little bit earlier, I caught I believe it was a 13-pounder on this bait. It's just a good bait to throw out, and you can have a steady retrieve. You can twitch it a little bit, but most of the time this draws some of the bigger bites. There we go. We got another one. That, as you can see, I've just been fan casting around. You just gotta fan cast around until you find them and work the bait in front of them. And most of the time they'll bite, but if they don't, you just cast back and try and catch them again. This actually might be a big striped bass, but I can't tell. It's a big striped bass. 15 pounds. This bait does tend to catch a lot of those big stripers too, but like I said, you can usually mix in big largemouth with this bait too. There we go. Looks like a good one.
Somebody
6-pounder.
All
right, we'll move spots, and I'll just show you guys this little pattern that I'm running that doesn't just catch fish in that one spot. I'll move to a couple of my other waypoints I've got back here. I've got this bridge right here is usually fairly good, but this spot back in here is just like a little offshore spot in the middle of this creek. Last time I fished here, it was holding some pretty big fish. So you just gotta move around a lot with your boat, and just graph over until you find a lot of fish concentrated in one area, and hopefully there's like a few bigger fish markers in there with these little ones. See, you're seeing a bunch of little ones right there, and then you get a bigger one like that, and that's when I usually stop, when I see a bunch of those little fish markers and there's a bigger one in there mixed in with them. Not quite sure what that fish is doing. He wants to eat. It's another big striper. Oh, and there you go. I think we've got a good one. See, we came over to this other spot. It's not just a one spot thing. You just gotta move around, and it seems to be, as of now, a good pattern to find some bigger fish. Let's get this thing in and see how much she weighs.
You have caught an absolute hydrilla gorilla.
11 pounds. And that's what I'm talking about right there. This pattern produces big fish. It's been producing big fish for me. Just if you've got the game, if you're struggling finding bigger fish, just try this out, and hopefully you end up with fish like this. Alright, well, thanks for watching, everybody. You go ahead and do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. I'm going to try and do more videos like this more often. If you like these videos, you like the tips, and if you end up catching fish because of the tips I gave here, then let me know in the comments. But yeah, this is a really fun game. I'm enjoying it so far, and I hope you guys are too. Talk to you later.
I came from the mud. There's